What's up, guys? This is New Dub 2012. Today I'm going to just do a quick tutorial about how to go about writing a 70s progressive jazz trap canticle. In case you're not aware, 70s progressive jazz is about mixing complex rhythms with complex drums. The jazz trap part is about mixing complex melodies with complex personalities. In complex. In complex or on complex? I don't know. Well, simple personalities, you get it. You take dark sounding piano, you blend it with macho mafioso, including how much money is being made while you listen to their music. Sometimes the defiling of women is a frequent topic used as inspiration for the complex relationship between personality and sound. For good examples of this would be artists like Future. He typically his beats and lyrics are developed while under the influence of OE and Baby Daddy Dolphin Kush. Basically what I'm going to get into is how do you start making, music like this? And 70s progressive jazz trap started in the early 50s in the old pants bars, where 70s 70s progressive jazz trap. 70s progressive jazz trap started in the early 50s in the old pants bars, where the patrons would share a pint and exchange comments about each other's pants. This was back in the day when pants were pretty big in fashion. The technical side of this genre is the technical side of this genre is equally as important. The technical side of this genre is equally as important as the artistic side. Technical meaning you have to have enough money to pay your producer not to clip the audio. That's usually where most of the money goes. The artistic side is usually figured out while high or eating. Hence why I'm eating a massive bowl of ice cream right now. It's necessary to get yourself into that state of mind of gorging and gluttony that comes along with jazz trap. Gain staging is very important in the 70, we're going to call it from here on out 70 PJT. It's just easier to say than 70s progressive jazz. You must ensure that the first item in the chain is the loudest, so as to ensure the quality of the mix is not exceeding the voltage amplitude produced by the transistor stage or the secure enclave stage. So what that means is, well, here I'll separate these for you. So that's kind of loud. And then we go here. So you can see that's pretty loud. So what if I do this? Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's not the greatest 70 PJT you could make, so let's start from scratch. So we're gonna take some of the bass drums, the bass kicks. Let's throw in some FL keys and FL Slayer. These are the usual instruments that would usually be used in a 70s PJT. A lot of the big players like Jackie Bernstein and Angelica Farson, they were the pioneers that usually combine these two instruments together. Oh, and of course we can't forget the hi-hat. Basically what you're going to want to do is just roll this thing through the entirety of the song for the most part. So the easiest way to do that is to go into the sample part of this, turn your CRF on, and then you got the ability to just hold it. There you go. So we're gonna start with a simple beat here. We're gonna change it to like 125 BPM because that's usually what it is for this genre. So snare on the 4 and the 6. So the FL keys, we're gonna do a D minor. So let's start off with a little and part of the structure of these 70s PJTs is making sure that they're progressive enough that the listener cannot figure out what's going to come next, because once that happens, then the song loses all value. Now, so if I try this, so that's kind of predictable. Let's throw in a little Slayer, also in D minor. Let's fill up the high space. So let's isolate just the Slayer for a second. Ah, I see the problem. We have the power chords mode on. You only want to use that if you're connected to a 50 Hertz power source, because 50 Hertz is usually the rate of amplitude that you want for an amplifier. You don't want to use the standard United States 140 volts. So we're going to do solo fixed. So I think that's very progressive. No one's going to know. No one's going to see that coming. So as we continue eating and continue the composition, let's continue. Let's unmute the rest of these and see how it sounds. So I like what I have so far. I'm going to split this up by channel so I can separate these beats. I'm going to clone this one and just make some alterations, I think. The nice thing with these 808s is that when you, I don't know if you can hear that, when you play it too often, you get these click noises. The clicks are very good at exciting the eardrum of the listener for 70s PJT. It's something that the old pioneer, what was his name? Oh, Barack Bernstein, that's right. He figured out this click. Alright, so let's, I like that as an intro actually. I'm gonna leave that as the intro. And 70s PJT songs are usually pretty short, because it's simply impossible to make something this complicated for a long extended period of time. So let's see how that sounds. one thing I like to do during the composition stage is to shorten the one of the lengths of sound and do this with it. So it's slightly it's so off timing that it's more on timing than the rest of the piece, and it takes on its own universe. So let's try that again from the top here. So that's a basic structure. We could add some more 70s elements to it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with an electro loop. Let's see, what else do we have? We got the funk right here. Hauser, house time, jazz funk, jazz mass. I like jazz mass tracks. I'm gonna put that in. This will really fill up that empty space that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna make this repeat 4 times. So what's gonna happen is after the first bar, it's gonna cut and repeat, because I like the very first. I like the first portion. That part. That's what I want it to sound like. So let's try that out. Okay. So remember what I said about the gain staging. So what we're going to want to do is link selected channels to this track so that they're all on different tracks. And from the get-go, I immediately know, just based on experience, that you're going to want to use some blood overdrive here, because the voltage will be perceived as sharper in tone than you had initially desired. So let's give that a shot. Let's turn our volume down to preserve our eardrum. Maybe that's a little too loud. See if I can tone it down a bit. Let's see. Let's look at. Here's a good lesson for EQing. Let's look at where the volume is not right. So I can definitely see some spikes of silence here. So let's put a little stab into the 54 decibels range, 61 decibels range. I think that'll do it. So one of the things I like to do when preparing my AQ is trying to find the frequency of doubt inside the spectrum of fate. So what you can do is try to just move this around, and eventually you'll find that space where you want to poke or stab. I think for now what I'll do is I'll use a flanger, because that will wave across all frequencies, and although there will be moments of doubt in my spectrum, it won't be that bad. The flanger will help to fix this. So let's just examine channel by channel here. So we have a dun 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 dun. So that's more of like a tribal style trap influence. And then we have the snare D. It's just a typical 4/4 placement. Now here is where I know it looks complicated, but really, let me explain and you'll understand it very quickly. So we start off with the D. The D throws it to the receiver at F5. F5 runs all the way here. He gets stopped by the F sharp. The F sharp pushes him back to the G5. And then all the way back to the G5, almost all the way back to the A5. He's almost got a touchback. So then he does a handoff, illegal handoff, but the ref doesn't see it. So then he goes all the way up here. Then he goes all the way back down to B4. B4 says, hey man, give me the ball. I'll bring it in for a touchdown. So what does B4 do? Sneaks through all this. Gets through all the guys, and then he just goes, and touchdown. Game's over. So that's how that one works. Slayer. This one was more of a track and field inspired trap placement. As you can see, these are the footsteps of the runner, and here's the track. So it symbolizes running for your life as the police come to get you. So here's the starting point, and then he goes, and then the track just goes like this. Okay. Now, I think one thing that's noticed, maybe my listeners will point this out, my subscribers, my Twitter followers, my Let's Players, the CH hat, I didn't use it, because I wasn't sure if I would really need to. So, let's just do it for sake of complexity here. Actually, I'm gonna do a live mix here because it's just way easier. So check this D. So what I'm gonna do is, this is pretty common for producers of the day to do this. So I'm gonna start recording. Click the record button. Make sure it's set to record with the red, and then click play. I'm gonna do a little piano switch here. So that's pretty much it, guys. Might want to subscribe, because with me you never know what you're gonna get. People thought I was gonna do a tutorial on Skrillex scale, but I I went to the doctor after slipping and falling and hitting my head, and he said that I changed my mind. So I said, alright, I won't do it. I'll do something else. So, alright guys, have a good one. Where do we get this ice cream? You got it at Costco? How much? Holy wow. You're a real coupon clipper.